What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something different. I love the Donkey Kong series. You guys know that already. When you ask about people's favorite Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong Country, the 5 Donkey Kong Country games, are always talked about in the same conversation. Whether it's 2, Tropical Freeze, Returns, which I grew up with. All 5 of them are amazing platformers. Yes, even 3 Returns. Some people are just kind of neutral with them from what I've seen. Apparently not much for Returns, but for 3, I guess because it's Kiddy Kong. Kiddy Kong's overhated, by the way. But yes, they're all fantastic platformers. But there are Donkey Kong games that don't really get talked about in the same conversation and are definitely overlooked, which are the land games, of course. Donkey Kong Land 2 being the best one. That's the objective fact. If you disagree with me, too bad. But I think the one Donkey Kong game that definitely has mixed messages online is Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong 64 is a 3D platformer on the N64. When people ask about N64 platformers, the 2 common ones come up, Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. But DK64, unfortunately, does not get talked about in the same conversation. And as a DK fan, how do I feel about this game? That's what we're going to be doing today. My pros and cons of Donkey Kong 64. Alright, let's go ahead and start with the usual plot of the game, honestly. King K Rool and the Kremlings are at it again. Instead of stealing bananas, but of course, just like in 2 and 3, they steal Kongs. 4 of them, by the way. And of course, they stole all the golden bananas. I lied, I guess. And it's up to DK and everybody else to save Donkey Kong Island. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole plot of the game, and yeah, there are 5 characters to play. This is a 3D platformer, of course, duh. This is DK's only, by the way, at least for right now, maybe. This is DK's only 3D platformer. But I don't know why that's the case, but we'll explain why later. Anyway, let's start with the negatives and then move on to the positives. So, why are people indifferent with this game? Well, for one, playing DK... Well, I don't have a problem with characters moving very slow. I don't know if this is a common complaint with Banjo, because he moves pretty slowly unless you get the move where Kazooie runs. And then, but otherwise, I don't mind the movement. However, though, I think the biggest problem is the collecting. You have to get all... There are 25 golden bananas in each area. 5 for each Kong. And you need to, they're hidden in sorts of locations to get them. You have to use them for certain abilities by meeting Candy Kong, Dixie Kong, not Dixie, Candy Kong, Tiny Kong, and Cranky Kong to get abilities. And yeah, you have to make sure you get enough bananas for each of those Kongs because they're different colored bananas for each of them, so you can get abilities for them. And yeah, and then after that, you just gotta keep collecting, get as much collectibles as you can so you can move on to the next area. And I will just say right now that this game is very, very bloated. I mean, yeah, I love a lot of content in this game. I love a lot of stuff to do, but oh my god, Donkey Kong 64 takes it on another level. The worlds are very massive and huge, which it depends on your personal preference if you don't mind that. I never had a problem with open world games or anything like that, but there is a lot of exploring to do, especially when you're trying to plan out where to go next and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And I think the major problem is the majority of golden banana challenges, and I will not name them all because oh my god, why is this a thing? But yeah, that's really a problem. And also a lot of abilities control. Oh my god, how is this? How did they think this was okay? But regardless, yeah, that's really the only... I think that's really the only negatives I have. And also the bosses, which I guess I never really had a problem with those either. But even if they are repeats. But regardless, I think those are really my only negatives with the game, honestly. Everything else seems perfectly fine. The controls are really wonky, the worlds are massive, a bunch of tough challenges. Yeah, that's really all I really have for the negatives of this game. And, yeah, that's all I got. So, what are the positives of this game? I think more people should look at what the game did right and what the game did wrong. I'm not trying to be all forced positivity, but a lot of people are different with the game just solely because of the controls and stuff. And overall, apparently the N64 games, apparently people say stuff like N64 games have not aged well. Oh my god, I get tired of hearing that all the time, honestly. And it's not, and just in case y'all aren't aware, I only grew up with one N64 game, Mario Kart 64. That was the only one I played as a kid. That's it. I didn't really have that many N64 games growing up, and this wasn't one of them. But let's talk about the positives. Of course, I think the major highlight of this game, the DK rap. Unironically, one of my favorite songs in video game history. And speaking of the songs, just like a majority of the Donkey Kong songs, Donkey Kong music, this one holds up pretty well, even to this day. And I still love listening to it, going back to it even then. I just love it so much. And the amount of sound effects, a lot of characters to play as. You can play as other characters. Diddy Kong, Tiny Kong. Did I say Tiny? I meant Candy Kong earlier. Whatever. And then you can play as two Kongs that unfortunately never came back, really. Lanky Kong, which is one of my favorites, and Chunky Kong. Those are all the characters you play. They all have their unique abilities. And I'm not going to say all of them, but I think the most common ones, especially for me, who do I prefer playing as? Personally, I'm more biased for DK being my favorite, because he's my favorite video game character. He has his bongos, and we all love to meme about it. Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, and also the level designs. Oh my god, Jungle Jace is an iconic area. Angry Artess. Frantic Factory, I'm neutral, same with Gloomy Gallon, but then there's Fungi Forest. There are a lot of unique areas, fun worlds to explore, and I just overall love it, honestly. It's just so nice. And they still hold up pretty well, in my opinion. I just love a lot of unique areas and stuff, and that's the positives of DK64. And also the boss is also fun to fight, honestly. Even if some of them are a bit on the easy side. Some of them can be a bit on the easy side, although some of them can be a little tough. But regardless, I had a lot of fun fighting these, honestly, and yeah. And of course, the showdown against King K Rool is definitely pretty brutal if you don't know what you're doing, but you do need different Kongs so you can do this, and have all the abilities and stuff so you can beat the game. So yeah. And obviously you have DK's home ground, and I just love this area so much. It's always so fun to explore. To be honest, y'all, I have a lot more fun exploring in DK64. Aw, shit. Alright, I'm back. But yeah, I have a lot more fun exploring in DK64 however I want compared to actually making progress in the game, honestly. Maybe that's just me, I guess. But regardless, I really... so yeah, that's all I gotta say about all the positives, honestly. You know, as a DK fan, how do I feel about this game? To be honest, I am pretty conflicted. On one hand, it's bloated, a lot of collectibles and stuff, but it does have unique worlds, great music, fun abilities to use, and honestly, I just really love it. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention the backtracking. I feel like the backtracking depends on how you do it, to be honest, but I personally didn't mind it. A lot of games have backtracking after all, so yeah. So yeah, that's my opinions on Donkey Kong 64. I wouldn't blame you guys if you haven't played the game, honestly, but unless the time recording this, if it ever comes on the Nintendo Switch Online, even though the expansion pack is pricey, please give this game a go. Just try it. If you're not a fan of it, that's understandable, but please give it a shot. Honestly, although my favorite 3D platformer on N64 is probably Banjo, I honestly love DK64 a whole lot as much as Mario 64. It's really hard to tell if I prefer this over Mario 64, because Mario 64 also has a lot of problems, though it is a little more replayable. DK64 has a lot going on, but maybe for bias aside, I might prefer DK64 over Mario 64, so yeah. Anyway, that's all I got, and I also, yeah, 100%ing this game. Have fun. I only did it once, and I'll never do it again. Thank you guys for watching. How do you feel about Donkey Kong 64? Let me know in the comments below. Later, folks.